participation. And my pleasure is also because of the large number of abstracts that have been submitted. At least it shows that we are making strides in the right direction. To me, I would like us to continue the dialogue, the discussion about multidisciplinarity, interdisciplinarity in research. As the previous speakers have already mentioned, that it is a recent trend. So we need more dialogue on the various aspects to improve our understanding of the differences between, for example, why are we using interdisciplinary research interchangeably with multidisciplinary research? So I was just trying to look at how can we make meaning of these seemingly similar terms. To me, multidisciplinary research is an aggregation of different disciplines, say, according to the slide here, discipline A, discipline B, discipline C, that are working together, but they still maintain their independence. So, for lack of a better word. But when I want to look at interdisciplinary, I see that there is more interaction. There is more interaction. And also the outcome is singular. The outcome is one, whereas in multidisciplinary, the outcomes might be different. So we would also maybe indulge in looking at transdisciplinary research as well, where now this research cuts across disciplines. So it is a new trend. Yes, we need to dialogue more about it so that we can come up with a refined understanding, which will at the same time inform our way forward. So here, interdisciplinary research perspectives is that, in my view, is that researchers and institutions can gain far more knowledge about how to develop interdisciplinary integration within the research process, as the emphasis on the interdisciplinary and convergent research develops. So integrating several fields of knowledge is necessary to effectively address many of the important and urgent research topics of today. Natural hazards, pandemics, and disasters, for instance, entail complex, interrelated systems that cannot simply be divided and examined in isolation without leaving out crucial components of the whole. So what are the motivations for interdisciplinary research? It could be policy issues, interdisciplinarity, where, for example, you can look at transport in the broader sense, railways, the seas, air transport, overland transport, but that is also, it involves the environment as well, issues about the environment. So we can look at interdisciplinary research there on policy issues in order to enhance interdisciplinarity. Could also be for knowledge transfer, to move from the lab to the real world. Or it could be research that is user-driven, which may not necessarily be commercial and heavily applied. So single disciplinary research has encountered a bottleneck. More than one discipline is needed to make a breakthrough. Hence, we start looking around for working models such as interdisciplinary research. There are things, though, like the other guest of honor had just alluded to. There are factors that may discourage interdisciplinary research. You can look at poor career structures for academic interdisciplinary researchers. Where do they fit in the whole structure of careers? That could be a factor that works against. There could also be low esteem of interdisciplinary research by monodisciplinary colleagues. That could work against interdisciplinary research. There could also be lack of opportunities to publish research results in high-ranking refereed journals. Discrimination by referees against interdisciplinary research proposals and publications. That could be something that works in the negative. There are challenges, though, to look at, challenges of interdisciplinary research, where the current system of academic advancement, it favors the independent investigator. Let's look at, for example, publish or perish, where there, for academic advancement, this independent investigator, this independent researcher is the one who is working towards their own advancement within their institution. Now, that is a challenge, because then how is it recognized in terms, or how does it enhance interdisciplinary research? Most institutions, they house scientists in discrete departments. Discrete departments can only mean that becomes a challenge to enhance interdisciplinary research. So interdisciplinary science also requires interdisciplinary peer review. So in that way, that could be a challenge in enhancing interdisciplinary research. Another factor is project management and oversight is currently performed by discrete PIs, ICs, persons in charge, and that cannot augur well for interdisciplinary research. These teams, they take time to assemble, and they require unique resources, such that becomes a challenge that we must be aware of. So how can we facilitate interdisciplinary research? Interdisciplinary research, by definition, requires the researchers to learn the other disciplines' vocabulary, methodology, and techniques. This requires effort and investment of time. The researchers involved must trust each other. They must have a mutual respect for each other. It will not work if one discipline is perceived as superior to the other. There must be a reward system in place which will acknowledge the overhead in time and effort that interdisciplinary research takes. We need to look at reward systems. They may not necessarily be monetary, but they could look at other areas which could enhance the professional development, for example, of the concerned researchers. Now, as the other guest of honors referred to skills or competencies that we need, there are various competencies according to different people. Here, I'm going to look at skills that's what are the skills needs for individual researchers? That means understanding the languages, the research methods, and cultures of different disciplines. That is, in my view, a necessary skill. We should also, one needs to have a high tolerance of ambiguity, right? That means personality would be more important than the discipline base. We must also have, we learn the skill of willingness to learn from other disciplines and other people. So we can also look at research managers' skills needs that they also need. They also must have an understanding of interdisciplinary background, respect for other disciplines, good interpersonal and team building skills. We need to be involved in team building skills where everybody in the end feels that they belong. And proactive in engaging with other partners. Outgoing person that wants to engage, that is genuinely interested in the progress of other partners. That is another skill that we need. This person, this manager need not be too ambitious about their own field. Otherwise, they run the risk of running away with their conception of this research, and then it becomes a one-man band. They also need to be interested in a wide range of subjects because remember, it's interdisciplinary, so they must show interest in the various subjects so that you are able to contribute more effectively to this team. So the core competencies would be interacting with others, would be engaging colleagues from other disciplines to gain their perspectives on the research problems, is to interact in training exercises with scholars from other disciplines. The president referred to qualitative research, referred to SPSS. All those are training needs that may be addressed and that we need to be competent in. We need to attend scholarly presentations as this one, for example, but by members of other disciplines, and collaborate respectfully and equitably with scholars from other disciplines to develop interdisciplinary research frameworks. As we said, it is a recent trend. So what would be the signs of good practice? One indication of good multidisciplinary integration is when the research is planned and carried out in a way that fully incorporates the intellectual input of all expertise engaged. The scope of a research is altered by fully incorporating viewpoints from other domains. As a result, researchers frequently create fresh analysis methods and produce novel insights that would not be possible otherwise. Interdisciplinary integration offers significant potential, not only to advance knowledge at intellectual frontiers, but also to help solve complex societal problems. So in contrast, methods that omit critical viewpoints or fail to integrate them effectively may result in recommendations for action that are insufficient or even counterproductive or retrogressive. So give and receive constructive feedback that will foster efficient and effective information exchange, strong working relationships, and internal commitment among team members. So here, may this conference, therefore, give the collegiality so desperately needed in academic institutions of higher learning, such as Eudoxia Research University. That is my wish. May we forge everlasting networks and professional learning communities which will address society's challenges, society's problems. Thereafter, we will celebrate success on an international scale. With this, I wish you the best of luck to all the presenters, to all the chairs of sessions, and I want to thank you very much for your attention and time. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for such a wonderful presentation.